So we have a couple more updates on the 3UZ truck. Where we last left off, we started starting to run some wires inside the cabin. So what's really left now is draw-by-wire, and we've got that situated, and I'll get to that in a second. And then the main thing now is getting the dash. So this is the factory harness, and I'm gonna walk onto the driver's side here. So there's this junction connector that's over here. So this junction connector obviously houses the engine harness, but it also houses the power to the dash. So what we found out the hard way was that we needed to get the lights powered on. So this actually ends up being, these 3 or 4 connectors here are actually what goes into the dash, and this goes into the factory ECU. So what we're going to do is we're basically going to split this and then figure out what wires go where. The biggest problem that we have is that this right here, this was the factory pass-through that we tried to retain, but as you can see, it's all glued together. So what we're going to do now is just we're going to strip this harness down, and we're just going to follow these to figure out where they go and then get rid of the rest of it. So this truck used to be EFI, but they converted it back to carburetor. So a lot of this right here is, I guess, the old EFI stuff, I'm assuming. So a lot of this harness was already gone anyways. Now the other big thing too is this is like a power junction block with fusible links. So we've got to figure out which ones we need and which ones we don't need. And so I'm going to start working on that while Andrew starts splitting this. Now on the inside of the truck, we've got the draw-by-wire pedal worked out. So this pedal comes from a 3rd gen LS truck right here, and they make a sweet little adapter. Whoops. So they make a sweet little adapter for this, and it all works like it's supposed to. So the pedal does feel a little strange in the sense that, like, when it hits the ground, but it's draw-by-wire, so we're going to be able to calibrate that, so when we hit the floor, that's 100%. So we've got the factory cluster back in, and this is only temporary just so we can get everything powered on, and then we can finally start doing the rest of our wiring. So we went through this entire harness, right, and we found out that the one wire that goes back here that we thought goes in the junction plug actually just goes to this connector that's not even connected to anything. We pulled all this out, cut all this apart to basically find out that this isn't attached to anything but the EFI harness, and that we've got basically 2 power wires, 2 direct battery power wires that go into the dash. So we're going to plug that in, we're going to use a power probe and see if it works, see if our theory is correct, but I'm feeling a little bit sheepish, but it's part of it. Okay, so we've got a few things kind of figured out. We got the windshield wiper working. The windshield wiper is part of this junction box harness here, so we got that figured out. And now we've got like a ton of ignition switch wiring. So it took a little bit to figure out. The ignition switch wiring was actually tucked up like all the way up here, so I didn't realize this, so I was trying to find it out from here, which obviously is wrong. So once I got it figured out, this is basically what we're after. So this is going to house this red wire is constant 12. This red wire is constant 12 volt. This yellow wire, according to the service manual, should be purple, but this is the starter wire. Now this is yellow because it is a manual truck. They bypassed the starter switch with some house wiring, so you didn't have to push the clutch in to start it, so they did that. And then I believe this pink wire here is our accessory wire. Now the good thing is that because we have the Toyota V8 harness, the starter relay and ignition relay is built into a separate fuse box. So we're going to tap these wires, and we don't have to go with this extremely large gauge. So this is like a 12 gauge here, but we don't have to do that because these wires are actually just activating relays. So I'm going to tap this with some thinner wires, and the only 2 that we're going to tap is going to be the starter and the ignition wire, and that's going to go to the other side there. So originally we were trying to find the wiring through the firewall, but it doesn't make sense because obviously with the Toyota V8 harness, everything is populated on the inside. Everything is populated on the inside of this right here. So we've got these 2 wires, this green and red wire is their ignition switch wires, and then this striped brown yellow is our starter wiring. So that's all that needs to get tapped and attached, and then we're basically done in that end. So this yellow wire is the starter wire, so it goes yellow to yellow, and then this pink wire is the accessory, goes to white. I didn't have pink, unfortunately, so that's what I had to use. So that's isolated. We're gonna tape that up and call it good. All right, so the wiring is poorly attached. Let's make sure that this thing is in neutral, which it should be. Key on, we should hear the fuel pump run. Fuel pump's running. Okay, well, I mean, we've got starting, so it starts and we're primed, so that's a good sign. We're good there. So I wonder why it's actually not starting right now, though. There's a battery ground that I didn't hook up, or forgot to hook up rather, so. Oh, dude, you know what? The cam and crank sensors aren't hooked up either. Cam sensor still hooked up. The other shielded white wire over there. Yeah, that usually works better if it's plugged in. It's on this side. All right, crank sensor's now plugged in, and if everything goes well, now it'll actually start. Okay, so obviously it runs, and we can turn it off with the ignition switch now, so we don't have to do any goofy wiring. So all that is done. Okay. Heck yeah. Okay, so now that we've got the ignition side of it done, we just got to do a shit ton of cleanup now, because all this can go. Actually, let's start it back up. We're gonna give it a functionality test. Let's check all the lights and everything. Yeah. Make sure all that stuff is good. All right. Windshield wipers. No lights?
It's like tries to turn on, but it doesn't.
Oh, it's because it's got the aftermarket HIDs in it. Okay. We got tail lights. Tail lights. We've got one headlight on. All right. I'm gonna hit the hazards and make sure all the hazards come on. All right, light functionality for the most part is working, except for this one. So that's all that together. Perfect. So now that we got it started, Andrew is going to work on cutting off the rest of this harness. So we actually only need to retain this big red wire and the wiper wiring, but everything else can go. We got to figure out what this last feasible link is, just to be on the safe side. But it looks like that just powers the main, the old EFI stuff. So we'll double check. So maybe, is there another thick red wire going that way? It doesn't look it. Yeah, but it's not going through the junction box. It's just going through, oh, alternator. That's the old alternator wiring. So we don't even need this one anymore. So one of the issues that we had with this truck was getting like wires through onto the driver's side. So the harness goes through this way and it runs all across to the dash to this other side, right? We actually found a hole that we could pass through, and it was actually the hole for the throttle cable used to go. So we pulled the vacuum line out. Now it's running over this way. That should be short. We've got a couple other wires that need to go from this way as well. Most notably, we need battery power and battery ground direct to here that's inside. We may have to run some of the shielded wire. I ran this initially to test it to get it started, so I've undone that. I've got to move the connector back over to the original wiring over here, and then we're going to try that and see if the truck will start. So we're making some decent headway now. We're starting to see, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel. So once Andrew is done routing all the wires through as best as he can, we're gonna redo. So they have this fan wire down here, which is probably hard to see, but it's just mounted here, and it's not mounted very well. And then we've got our fuel pump wiring down here as well. So I'd like to clean that up. The ECU is going to be controlling both those items, the fan and the fuel pump. So there's a good chance that we're going to run through that. And then, so we'll get this all cleaned up here as well and move some stuff around. So we drilled up the firewall, and then we added a another wire access point thing, and Andrew is starting to pull out all the fuel pump and our fan relays. We're going to move all that out, and we've got some stuff to push through, which is the flex fuel sensor harness and a vacuum line for now. So what we have to do is we need to figure out the best way to situate all this power wiring. So we've got a couple of fusible links here that need to be done. So these need obviously battery power. We've got the fuel pump relay, the fan relay, the ECU, all needs battery connection. So we're trying to figure out the cleanest way of doing all this and moving everything around.